All right, admit people are waiting. Oh, I didn't plan for that. Waiting room. So yeah, bear with me. This is kind of new. Using Zoom for a webcast. Admit. Oh god. All right, we got Dave, we got Brett, we got Dan with his. Is that a dinosaur in the background? Very nice. Yes. Thumbs up. Yeah, you guys are muted. You can use the chat box though. I just didn't want a lot of background noise. And I'm hiding out from my kids in my basement. So lighting is not ideal. There's some weird things going on. But we're going to mostly go through a slideshow. All right? And I'll turn off this music I have. Okay, good. All right, so give people 5 more minutes. We've got 8 people waiting in the waiting room. I don't know how to admit them. This is all new. Tech is not my friend. Oh, there you go, Ron. Marine's iPad is on. A mind of her own. I like it. The iPhone has possessed the computer. Joe, Gordon, welcome. Claudette, okay, good. All right, I hope that everyone out of the waiting room is in, because that's going to take a lot of time to accept them every time. All right, good. All right, just chat and type in the chat box where you're calling in from on the call-in show with Mitch. If you're in Winnipeg, which a lot of you are, just put in your area of the city, just to make sure the chat box is working. It's on the bottom bar, and then it'll pop up on the right-hand screen, and then you just type in Texas. Dan, yeah, I knew you're from Texas. Watch that COVID down there. Dave from Terrace, BC. Jason, Saskatoon. Oh, we got a rival Bomber fan, hopefully. Olympia is from Edmonton. Daniel Rice. There you go. River Heights, of course. Very close. Brett's up in Swan River. Amanda's in Kenora. Oh, good cross section here. Okay, I got more people in the waiting room. Bad idea in this waiting room. All right, so what we're going to do is go through a slideshow, 20 minutes. I'm going to go through my 3 secrets I mentioned. We're going to draw a winner in the VIP giveaway. Yes, if you're a client, you're eligible for that as well. 90-day coaching program. That'll happen at the end. So some incentive to stick around, essentially. Okay, so hopefully no more waiting room people. We're going to get into the slides now. I'm just going to have to share my screen, and we'll figure it out real quick here. Okay, good. All right. So that is that. You should see James Franco thumbing up. The thumbs up. Can you see that? Give me a thumbs up if you got that on your screen. Just want to make sure tech is good. Dan, always reliable, good stuff. All right. Let's open up this chat. Oh, yeah, we got Spencer in St. James. Nice. That's my neck of the woods, technically. Claudette, Weston, that's an area of Winnipeg. Very nice. Good stuff, guys. So we won't leave you hanging any longer here. As long as you can hear me and see James Franco, we are good to go. So no longer starting soon. We're starting now. All right. So like I mentioned, bonus at the end, that VIP coaching package, right down to the dollar. I mentioned it. And one of you is going to win it. Obviously, some of you entered more on Instagram, so you have more entries. I did a randompicker.com, and that'll be revealed in a roughly 35 minutes time. All right? Okay, we've got more in the waiting room. Okay, good stuff. So what you're in for, I'm going to show you how to enjoy your favorite foods and drinks, if you're into that. Yes, there's beer on the side here. Without putting on that summer weight. The summer 15, there was the quarantine 15. Now there's that July, August 15. We don't want 30, right? Quarantine and summer, that's a bad combination. So what we're going to do is show you how to balance your fun. Obviously, there's a little bit of sacrifices involved, but come out of this break even or better. You know, so that September, the leaves start to fall if you're in Canada, and you're in good shape for it, all right? So secret 1 is simply the trick to melting belly fat while still eating your favorite foods. I'm not suggesting you can get away with this every day, but when you structure your diet the way we're going to tell you how to, you certainly can, okay? And secret 2 is why giving up on long cardio will get you faster results. By all means, do this if you enjoy it, but there are some downsides and a give and take, and we'll talk about that more at length when we get into that. And secret 3, there's a pixelated picture of me on the left, my before photo from 20 years old, how I overcame my genes. I say that liberally because I'll get into that more. to lose weight, maintain it. You know, it's been 18 years now? My math is off, 17 years, I think, since I lost the initial 60 pounds. Pretty much kept it off. So I'm going to show you how that works. All right, so who am I? So a lot of you guys know who I am. I'm not going to give you this long, drawn-out resume, but this was sort of the breaking point at Laidlaw School. Had man boobs, for lack of a better term, and adopted the nickname. Well, a couple kids gave me the nickname Mitch Tits. Sorry if you're you don't like swear words, but that was in reference to my man boobs. Oh, someone's in the waiting room. Okay, so that, you know, kind of spread around the school. Really low point for me. I was always kind of the chubby kid, right? And that sort of was my identity, and it held me back from doing a lot of things. So fitness was sort of my salvation. And I'll get into how I eventually made that transition. But had a tough go. Wasn't the most popular kid at Laidlaw School in junior high. But I feel like that experience made me stronger. So I have no regrets about it. I don't have any ill will towards the kids that did that to me. Kids are like that. You understand. So the moment I hit rock bottom, I don't know why this slide is in here, but high school gym class, right? They had this body fat device. It was new at the time. And my gym teacher was this real gung-ho guy. Some of you guys may have heard this story. This was the breaking point for me. Sarah's in the waiting room. Here we go, Sarah. And so he passed around this device. You know, he had to grip it. These things are not that accurate. They know that now. But my body fat came up at like 35-something%, a little bit higher than that maybe. And then he ranked all the guys in the class. Kyle Bax is on, college buddy, going way back. So he ranked all the guys in the class from worst to first in terms of body fat percentage. And I was at the top, I believe, for the guys. So obviously very embarrassing. I don't think they would do that anymore, right? Politically correctness and all that. But that really felt like I needed to change after that. So, you know, it didn't happen right away, but I went into running a lot and tried to, you know, diet off through running. We've got someone unmuted. Make sure your mics are muted, guys. Just there's no background noise. I think I got you now, but we're good. All right, so that was sort of the rock bottom point. Now, 18 years later, I put 18 year later, been featured in Men's Health. You know me from the Winnipeg Free Press, a column every Saturday. So how did I make that transition from chubby kid with the heaviest body fat percentage to a fitness coach? That's sort of what we're going to get into today, okay? So starting on the foundation, you can't skip a step, right? Those big skyscrapers downtown, they have to start building underneath the ground. And that's actually the longest part of the process. And then it seems like it seemingly goes up floor by floor once they get past this stage. But if you skip this, you're building a foundation on shaky ground and it won't last, okay? All right, let me get the chat box closed. Okay. So what does that mean? Well, you need to have a strong reason to do it in the first place. And the stronger it is, the easier everything will be. For my 20-year-old self, it was just about getting confidence in myself so I could potentially get a girlfriend and feel better about myself. As I've gotten older, that's, of course, changed. Now I have 2 daughters. It's about being a good role model for them, you know, being able to keep up with them, playing with them in the backyard, that kind of thing. So wherever you're at in life, figure out your reason for wanting to do that, because without having a really strong reason, you're not going to get through the tough times, right? You're not going to stick it out. So what is your why? Well, picture this guy on the couch first, okay? His daughter comes running into the room, daddy, daddy, daddy. His eyes light up. You can tell he has a ton of love for this girl. But he also knows if he doesn't change some foundational habits, get his own act together, he may not be around to, you know, walk her down the aisle, be there for those milestones in her life. So ultimately, this is why I do what I do, is for the guy that's on his couch, the girl that's on her couch, who knows she needs to change but doesn't know where to start, really struggles with that aspect of just getting that first hurdle out of the way. Because the cost of not doing anything is that daughter on her wedding day is not just crying tears of joy, but tears of sadness, because the man she loves as much as her husband is not there to walk her down the aisle because he couldn't get his act together, had a heart attack, whatever, passed away before this day. So that is really my why, but also why I coach. So you need to determine what is going to drive you through the tough times, and that's ultimately up to you. So maybe if you're willing, type your why in the comment box, and share it with us. Mary Louise is here. I like it. Because once you put it out in writing, you're more likely to follow through. That's just the way it works. So for Mary Ann, her why, you can't really see her background picture that well here. But her why was just to get back, well, get into a two-piece bikini. She'd never been in one before. She never felt comfortable, you know, poolside, at the beach, whatever the case may be. So that was her driving reason. It's pretty surface level, but it worked for her, as you can see. Long journey from A to B here, over a year, but big changes nonetheless. And she was a mom of 2 kids who, once the kids were older, took back some time for herself, ultimately. So I do see some comments here. Claudette's why is for my kids getting older. They need me to be there, and for myself to be happy. Absolutely, those are great things. Dave's got 3 sons to keep up with. Oh yeah, no doubt. Yeah, you don't want to lose to them until they're at least 20. So you have to stay in shape to show them who's boss on the outdoor rink, or if you're in the U.S., basketball court. Right, Dan? All right, I'm not sure why I put this in there, actually. Well, if you don't get me for coaching, this is what happens to your neck. No, just to make sure you're awake here, I throw in the odd GIF or GIF. Not sure how you say it. Not the most flattering picture. We've all been there, right? Portrait mode, you have your camera down here. Naturally, a little bit of a double chin. In his case, a triple chin. So there's your why. Avoid double chin in portrait mode. All right, next steps. So once the foundation is laid, you've got a good reason for wanting to do this in the first place. Well, where do you go from there? And it's not yet your diet and exercise plan. Because a goal without a plan is just a wish, in the words of the name I'm not going to attempt to pronounce. Antoine de Saint-Exupéry. Hopefully there's someone French that can correct me. But I like the graphic. So what we do is get clear on your goals. So every client that enrolls nowadays gets this fat loss blueprint to guide them through the first leg of their journey. So the outcome goal is like 2 inches off the waist, 20 pounds on the scale. You do not control that, however. But the process goals, and we really help you map these out, those are the things you're going to do daily or weekly to move you closer to that outcome goal, so that by the end of this all, you're as close as you possibly could have came because you did everything you could control. So process goal, and we'll get into the 24 hours and all that stuff. That's more semantics with me and the client. But you want to set that goal. Don't freak out about it, though, beyond having it in mind, right? And then the process goals are what those things you're going to do daily. Maybe it's weigh in daily. That's good data. If that freaks you out emotionally, the fluctuations, then maybe that's something you avoid. And everyone's different. Maybe that's tracking calories, right? Because without tracking, people tend to underestimate their consumption. Maybe it's going to the gym Monday, Wednesday, Friday, walking 10,000 steps. Everyone has different things they feel they need the most, and we help you determine that. But yeah, you could do some thinking on that now. MLB is writing down, so she's mapping this out. She's on it. Good stuff. So beyond having a set goal, sometimes I find we do not follow through things unless we've got either a significant reward in the end or some sort of consequence for not following through. So this great book I stumbled upon years ago, which actually probably led to where I am now, The Blackmail Diet. John Bear, the author, I think he was a diet coach. He was a PhD in something, but he had a lot of weight to lose, put $5,000 at the time. That's probably like 20,000 in today's currency. Munish is on. Ron, 6 grandchildren to enjoy. Yes. Sorry, I'm going through the comments here again. Health scare, tired of making excuses. Very good. Lots of good whys here. Brett, 4 kids and 2 stepkids. Yes. You got your hands full. So what he did, John Bear, taking you back here, put $5,000 in escrow. If he failed to reach his 70-pound weight loss goal, that money was gone to the American Nazi Party. Please mute yourself if you have screaming children in the background. Okay, I think we're okay. So how do you use this? Well, in my case, after the book. Oh, screaming children, I get it. I totally get it. I'm going to mute somebody. Everyone's muted. All right, maybe it's my kids, who knows? Ron, I got you muted. You keep on muting yourself. All right, so what I put on the line back in the day was the threat of losing video games. So you may have heard this story. I was a big video game addict. That was partly what led me to the weight gain in the first place. But I put a sticky note on my computer screen. If I didn't lose 60 pounds within 12 months, pretty ambitious goal, I would have to quit playing video games for an entire year. And of course, I had to have someone accountable to that. It wouldn't make sense if it was just me. So my dad knew about it. He was more than happy to enforce that because he didn't like me wasting all that time. And that was really kind of the driving force for me. It wasn't just the diet plan. It was having this threat over my head of potentially losing something I enjoyed, because human beings are wired to, the threat of losing something is more powerful than the potential gain of what could come, which makes no sense. Because getting in shape opens up so much opportunities. You feel so much better. But initially, it seems consequences have more power. Okay? So think on that. Hey, if you are willing, put a potential consequence into the chat box. Oh, congrats, Gordon. Second grandchild on the way. Yes, that's what it's all about, being around for them. Absolutely. So what can you put on the line to ensure you follow through? I do this the odd time with clients. Not everyone, it doesn't work with everybody. Some people prefer a reward on the end, but this can be very powerful. What I'm doing is if I don't get under 200 pounds by August 1st, and I'm in jeopardy of not making that, I won't be able to watch the hockey playoffs that are coming up, and it's been a long time coming. So that's going to definitely push me to accomplish this. All right, so that's it. Now that you've got the foundation in place, you got a clear goal, you got a potential consequence for not doing it, following through. Now we're going to get into like the logistics of how to set up your diet plan and the nuts and bolts of this stuff. Okay, so the first one is that trick to melting belly fat. Did I say flat? Belly fat while eating burgers and fries. I have a weekly 5 guys because I plan for it, and I make sure I have some limitations outside of it. But this is why fad diets fail, first off. They're built on a foundation of shaky ground. Because the more you restrict stuff, the more you say, I can never have a carb again, the more you're going to want it, the more you're going to see a piece of potato and crave it just because it's off the limits. So it's better to have anything fit as long as it's within your numbers, whether that's a portion system or tracking calories. That tends to be the best place to start. It's the training wheels of the diet plan until you get a little more familiar with the nuts and bolts, the nutrition content of food, okay? So I often share this as sort of the pyramid of priorities, the hierarchy of fat loss. And that bottom layer is, if you do that right, everything else kind of falls into place. And that really is just 2 things. Making sure you eat less calories than your body needs to maintain weight if you're trying to lose weight. But you also want to pair that with sufficient protein so that you don't throw the baby, that's the muscle, out with the bathwater, that's the fat. You want your body to prioritize fat and not just weight loss, okay? So that by the end, you've got a good metabolism still, you look strong and fit, because strength is important. So tying into that piece is resistance training. So when you lift heavy weights, your body's not going to throw away your muscle because it thinks it needs it. It's just, basic math since the dawn of time. If you're using your muscles, they're not going to disappear on you. All right, Darren's on. And we'll get into why emphasizing too much cardio can be an issue. MLB is going to throw out a donation. Very nice. Very nice. I like it. That works. Those are good things. Have some money going out the door if you don't follow through. So the third piece, which people mostly ignore, is getting enough sleep. That can be super important even as an adult. Quality sleep, minimizing stress. Because if you have insufficient sleep, your body, your metabolism slows down. It's less apt to move. You simply don't burn as much fat as you would when you're getting optimal sleep. And same goes for stress. It has a negative effect on your hormones, on your metabolism. Last piece, which people actually start with usually, and it's just a little bit of cardio, a little bit of conditioning, and adding it in only as needed, okay? So we'll get more in depth on this here in a second. So that calorie deficit, that is a bit of a stumbling block. Most people understand the premise of it, that they just have to eat less than they need to maintain their weight and they'll lose fat. but simple in theory, not so simple in practice. So one way to explain this is the Twinkie Diet. I'm not suggesting you do this, but professor in the US, just to prove this theory that calories in, calories out was sort of the baseline, ate nothing but Twinkies and assorted baked goods, lost 27 pounds in 10 weeks roughly. But not only that, like his cholesterol went down, his blood pressure went down. Simply losing weight was really good for him, even though the food choices were pretty terrible. So bad idea to go all in on the Twinkie diet, but it kind of sets the example here I'm trying to share with you, that calories first. Calories matter most. So know your numbers. So like in this case, I had a little bit of pizza on this day, still fit within my numbers, right? So as long as you know your numbers, you have room for fun, either on a daily or weekly basis. So if you plan your day well enough, you got your protein in. After dinner, you've got 200 calories still left over in your day. That's when you can have that glass of wine or a treat, whatever you kind of been craving all day. It's that simple. Okay. All right. Moving on. Why giving up on long cardio workouts will get you faster results. So if you want to be a good runner, you want to do triathlons, by all means, you have to run. The only way to be good at something is to do a lot of it. But we're talking body composition, weight loss. That's what people come to me for. And they don't need to do a lot of this to accomplish that. That's really what it's about here. So Kara was doing, in the before picture, 1 to 2 hours of cardio a day, plus like P90X, insanity workouts. 0 in the after photo. We actually removed all the cardio from her plan. Tried to kind of get her to stress less, focus on diet, and sure enough, that cortisol belly she had was greatly reduced. So we'll get into that in a second. Matthew, I don't know if I told him I was sharing this with you, by the way, but prior to coming in with me, waking up super early to do tons of cardio, we cut that back. Again, focused on nutrition, strength training, and wow, I'm hiding his identity, but you can see the difference here quite a bit. So reason 1 to prioritize strength over cardio, muscle mass matters. So you probably don't want to get to 65, right? MLB, no chance. You don't want to get to 65 and have to install one of these chair lifts in your house, right? That drive you up the effing wall. So muscle mass is the big differentiating factor that's going to prevent you from ever needing a walker or one of these fancy chairs. I don't imagine they're cheap, that drive you up the wall. So no matter what age you're at, prioritizing your strength. Sharon's iPhone is trying to join. Prioritizing strength is going to be the X factor. It's one of the main keys to longevity is building up muscle. Gravity fights you down, right? You get that hunched over look, leaning on a walker. We don't want that. Strength is going to keep you in good spot. No hockey this summer. All right. Number 2 is muscle metabolism, right? Let's take 2 hypothetical people. See them on the right hand of the screen. Maybe it's your left, I'm not sure. Jane and Bob, they are a couple. They agree to lose weight together. Jane is on the money, counting every calorie, spending hours on the treadmill. After a month, she's down a pound. Okay, not bad. Bob, meanwhile, had good intentions, but all he did was drop his soda habit. Gets to the gym a little bit, but ends up cutting his workout short, and he loses 10 pounds. Not fair, right? Well, you think, oh, it's that gender thing. Guys have it easy, but it's actually not so much the gender. That can only make maybe a 3% difference. If you got a man and a woman that are weighing the exact same, 3% difference in metabolism or overall, calorie burn. But Bob, used to be an athlete. He's got a pretty good amount of muscle, and simply a lot of those calories go to repairing that muscle, burned off by that muscle. So it's a big, big factor. That's why I have the ladies that come into my program focus on, focus on muscle retention at the very least. And so they just obsess about the scale too much at the expense of muscle, and they end up in this tough spot where they have to eat 1,000 calories to maintain it. That's not fun. So we want you to focus on muscle, just like this guy, all right? All right, number 3, because the other piece, we want to focus on fat loss, right? not just weight loss. Weight loss means, you know, at the expense of muscle and fat, we see the scale go down super fast. Great. That tends to lead to a rebound. So what happens here? Well, two groups were put on a really low calorie diet. I wouldn't suggest 800 calories a day. But one group did that diet plus cardio. The other group weight trained plus a diet, the same diet, right? So after 12 weeks, both groups lost weight, but the cardio group lost 9 pounds of muscle, which not good. We don't want that. The weight training group gained 2 pounds of lean mass. They lost comparable amounts of fat. Sorry, I don't have the exact number. I think it was 8 and 9 pounds. But the net gain substantially better in the group that strength trained did no cardio at all. I like a little cardio, but if I have the choice between doing a 30-minute strength workout or an hour run, you can bet we're going with the strength workout, right? For this reason. Okay. The other problem with cardio is, you know, going really hard, and this can happen with CrossFit workouts, really hard workouts, is appetite goes up. Your non-exercise activity goes down because you're so exhausted after workout. You just plant yourself on the couch. Your body's trying to conserve calories because it burns so much in the workout. And the net positive burn over the course of the day can actually kind of break even because 90%, 97% of your day is not in the gym. So you want that time to be active, moving. You don't have to run, walk, stand, fidget. That kind of stuff adds up. Okay? And I think the last piece, which is actually most important for people, is just the time efficiency, right? You know, 30-minute hard circuit workout versus running 10K might be, you know, a saw-off, but running 10K is a lot bigger time commitment, right? You've got to build that into your day. Okay, good. Oh, reason 5, I forgot that, which I already kind of led into, which your body gets efficient at running to the point that the amount of calories you burn doing that 10K run or mile run, significantly less once you've adapted it, and that can take only a couple weeks. So we're not using workouts to burn fat. We're using workouts, and this is a different shift in your head, to gain muscle, gain strength, at least maintain muscle, and then the diet kind of drives the fat loss. I know that you hear fat burning workouts. It's promoted a lot in the fitness industry. It's not the way to go about it. You're going to kill yourself, burn out your nervous system, and not really get the bang for your buck you want. All right. Let's see here. So this is, I mentioned Marianne. We had her, you know, she wasn't doing a whole lot in the before picture, of course, but we had her introduce strength training and a diet with a lot more protein intake. And she walked a lot. I mean, walking's good. It doesn't have the appetite increase that running does. And, you know, I think this is maybe 13 months in between. Pretty good. All right. We've got a dog and another dog's butt to break up the monotony of these slides. If you are still there, give me a heck yeah in the comment box. I don't know. This is, I think I Googled funny dog photos and this came up. Really don't know what he's doing in there. We got some heck yeahs coming in. Jason, heck yeah. Spencer. Jolene, Dan, very nice. You guys are awake. I like it. All right, so secret 3. I don't know why they're so pixelated, these pictures. So how I overcame my fat kid genes. Well, when I first started, after that low point, we got someone that needs muting. Ooh, Ryan's on, and you're muted. All right, good stuff. So I thought Weight Watchers was my salvation, right? Thought running would be my salvation. I didn't know any better. I thought that would be the answer. So that first year, before I did the whole video game commitment, I ran, and then I ate, and I lost 5 pounds, gained 5 pounds, back and forth, and then did this big circle. And then I eventually lost a little bit more weight, but I looked like a skinnier version of my former self. I'm like, what gives? This doesn't make sense. I'm working really hard. Running is hard. There, he's in waiting room. So what made the difference was weight training with a stick figure. I don't know why the stick figure is that. So that was really the secret, which I've kind of given away throughout this presentation, was strength training and a diet called Burn the Fat, Feed the Muscle. I had hired Tom Venuto as my coach. And that was really the springboard to where we are now. Cliff notes. All right, so that can simply be your own body weight at home, push-ups, squats, that kind of thing. Depending on your level of advancement, it doesn't have to be a big box gym. Although, if you're looking for a gym, Anytime Fitness, Linda Woods, we've got the co-owner on right now. She'll hook you up. So I realized you shouldn't diet all year round as well. This was another issue I had where I cut my calories so low. I was cold all day in college. I thought I had to starve myself to lose the weight, and there was weight loss certainly, but not the right kind of weight loss, as I've spoken about. So what I've learned is you don't want to be dieting all year round. You want to use maintenance phases at appropriate times. Okay, and that might confuse you if you've never heard that word before, but it all stems from a study done in 2017, the Matador study. 2 groups. One just took the approach of I'm going to diet hard forever, stay on X number of calories. The other group sprinkled in diet breaks where they increased their calories for a period of 2 weeks. Okay. And I don't know how, I didn't have the results in here, but the group that took the breaks lost more weight in the end, but also maintained their loss to a significant degree more than those who didn't. Because there's a lot of hormonal things that happen. I'm not going to get too far into what's said here. But the harder you push, the more likely you're going to hit this wall eventually, whatever time it is, 6, 8 weeks, 10 weeks, 12 weeks, where your body fights back, you get a ton of cravings, nothing seems to be working. That's a perfect time to take a break. But you've got to kind of earn it, right? You can't be cheating nonstop and then think you need a break. So there's a balance we use, and with different clients, it takes a different approach, and some don't need it because it happens naturally around vacations and fun weekends. But this is what it comes down to is people expect this straight line. January 1st, I'm going to weigh this. June 1st, I'm going to weigh this. Simple, right? Not so much. Because the reality is you're going to have these weight fluctuations even within a week, within days. But the overall trend should go down. But scale weight, again, is not the only metric. But if you have 50 plus pounds to lose, we do want to see that move. But it's not going to be a straight line, okay? All right, so the missing link, can't find the chat box. As she says, keep the body guessing. Yeah, food choices, you don't want to eat the same things day in and day out. Although that can be a good tool for being accurate with calories, but you could get, food allergies, food intolerances. So I don't think it matters so much there, but calorie fluctuations are a nice tool. So accountability, what does that mean? You probably know what that means. So in 2003, I enlisted that coach I mentioned earlier, Tom Venuto. And that was the springboard. I thought I could do it on my own. I Googled stuff. I ran hard. I was certainly working just as hard as I was when I was with him. But I was working smarter, not harder. And that's how these guys have worked with me. And a lot of you guys on here are current clients. I guess I won't reveal you in case you want to keep confidentiality here. But I'll go through some people that are out of the program now who had great success because they put something on the line, like we talked about up front, enlisted that support. So Curtis looked unreal on his wedding day. I don't know how he's doing nowadays. 41 pounds lost. I will check in now that I have him in here. So Corinne, again, mother of 2, after that fun pregnancy and the initial 6 months of caring for 2 twins, lost 15 pounds, 8.5 inches. Ron got ripped, as you can see. Didn't get any happier though, Ron. What's going on here? We can't get this guy to smile, apparently. That was in a little shy of 10 to 12 weeks, I think. And Jenna, so this is an interesting story. She reached out after her initial dress fitting on the left here, just not happy with how she felt in her dress. And we went to work, got her down a couple dress sizes, very expensive alterations. And there's the after photo. So be prepared to buy a new wardrobe if you work together with me, as some of you know. So Joey lost 50 pounds. Oh, by the way, we're going to do the draw here soon. I can't remember which slide I put it on. But if you entered the draw, and just by being here, you were in the draw as well, because I put all of your entries on, I think, everybody. into the random picker. So yeah, it's coming up. So stay tuned. We'll get through this. Okay, yeah, that's right, Ashish. Calorie fluctuations are great. And Darren knows it's all about protein. Darren has killed it. Looking like a new man. Did you get your mug yet, Darren? I don't know. It's COVID shipping. I ruined the surprise. So Joey lost 15 pounds, or 50, sorry. January 4th, had his rock bottom moment there, and just weighed in on, actually, I think it was exactly July 1st, 6 months, 50 pounds. That's awesome. Just a new lease on life. Equally not as happy, though, as well. Seems to be a theme in the after photos. So Paul was, I don't know if Paul's on tonight. It's a bit of an enigma. Doesn't always follow the plan, but when he does, this is what happens. And he's still got his cookies, his Costco cookies, that soft, chewy one. We made sure we built that into his daily intake and got pretty shredded. I do say so myself. All right. Oh, Marianne, I forgot to put her in again at this piece. You know her story. 2-piece bikini was the goal. I believe that's 2-piece in the after photo. So Steven, again, you guys probably know Steven. I shared his story in my book. I mean, quite a massive transformation. Had to buy a lot of new pants at 32-inch waist. Very good. And Jeff found his abs. So he's kind of that type that naturally skinny, ectomorph, for lack of a better word, but, you know, had the skinny fat look, and we were able to get that six-pack to come out. Very nice. If that's your goal. Very nice. I have to throw in a Borat reference every time I do one of these. So this made sure I got this in there. So bear with me. Hopefully you appreciate that. I know Borat's a bit, well, he's not very politically correct, we'll say, which may not mean he ever does another movie, but nonetheless, cheers. Kristen is in. Okay, good. So question for you. If you followed a balanced diet plan, didn't force you to give up your favorite foods entirely, you could drink a bit on weekends, you need to work out 30 minutes, 3-4 times a week, do you think you could be successful? Type yes in the chat. Type yes in the chat. Or no if you don't think you can. Oh, cliffhanger. I actually don't have the chat open. I'm guessing yes, there's lots of chats. Good, good. Yeah, I see a few. Chanso, welcome. Okay. Yeah, we got lots of yeses. Sarah with a big yes. Very nice. So I'm convinced you guys agree that you could do it. I like it. So what that looks like, so recapping this whole thing, the 4 pillars, which I guess I didn't really mention them as the 4 pillars here, but that's that pyramid I showed where the calorie deficit has to be the first piece, tie that in with sufficient protein, weight train just enough to maintain muscle, and then walk and move, but don't go crazy with it. You do those 4 things, give it time, be consistent, take strategic diet breaks when your coach tells you, when you feel you need one, and then you've got to have some support along the way, and remember why you did this in the first place, why you're doing this, because it has to be a pretty strong reason, because this will suck at times. To be consistent, to make sacrifices is just part of the deal. All right, so the belly burn blueprint. So we've already got 75 clients. A lot of you guys aren't on here. So you guys can technically X out at this point because it's just a rundown of how this works with our next intake. Dan's going to be crying in the coffee. I like it. So what we're going to walk through now is kind of the nuts and bolts of this, and then we're going to draw a winner for this intake. Okay, so potentially one of you guys that are paying me is going to get it for free now. So I'm a little bit scared. So guaranteed results. So 2 pant size guarantee. This was Matt. This was, God, I'm blanking. Hopefully she's not on here. Tara. Yes. So I don't know why those pictures are there, but just to give you an illustration of that pant size change, okay? So what we do is track your progress. We've got an app. You log your food intake in there. I can see it in real time. You do your workouts that are scheduled on X amount of days. And again, that's tailored to your individual needs. You put in your odd progress photo. You update your measurements at periodic points. We've got a chat feature in there. We do live workouts 3 times a week. My daughter tends to make inappropriate cameos, as you can see. But it's all fun through Zoom, no COVID, potential risk factors there that I'm aware of. I don't think you can get anything through a computer screen. And then that coach in your pocket, which really is important, I find, is that accountability piece. That's why I have coaches for different aspects of my life and fitness at times too, is knowing someone's checking in and someone I can reach out to when I'm hitting a bit of a wall with things. And that's often what people need, right? You guys agree. So I can send you little voice reminders. You can send me freaked out messages when the scale is up and I can put your mind at ease. Okay. Oh yeah, room for drinks and fun weekends. So we can structure your diet to really get really fun weekends. Matt, I don't know if he's on, had 8 different types of alcohol in his food log. At least he's honest on the weekend. And his weight is still trending down because of how we structure things out Monday to Friday, right? So by no means do you have to live like a hermit unless you want to. Makes it a little bit easier. Bonuses. Oh, rest in peace to this guy, by the way. Billy Mays, was it? I think it was a cocaine problem. But really entertaining guy. Okay. I lost the chat. All right. So bonuses, number 1. So this is my rapid fat loss blueprint. I don't suggest you try to roll this out every few weeks. But in a pinch, you got a wedding, you've got a special event coming up. I give you a plan that sets up your calories day to day, how to eat, when to eat, and you will lose a significant amount of weight, some fat, some water, but you'll look better in the end. So hopefully my clients don't reach out wanting this now because it's probably not the time, but there is a time and place for it. Number 2, fat burning recipe book we got here. Never bore yourself to tears with chicken and broccoli again is essentially the message there. Pretty simple, usually 3 to 5 ingredients. And I have kind of my own recipes apart from this so that we try to give you some variety, of course. Boring works, but variety is probably necessary at a certain point. Oh, what is this? Oh, yes, day in the life PDF of what I do every day so you can model it or not. No, it just gives you sort of a breakdown of how I do the things, and you can pick and choose what you think makes sense for you, okay? So fast food cheat sheet. So this is the best options, in air quotes, if you haven't made your food prep a priority that week and you've got to hit a drive-through. So things you can get that aren't going to sabotage your plan as long as you track it, right? And then the bonus number 5 is these 17 guides that were put together that help you live longer and stronger, improve your hormones like testosterone for the men, skin and hair quality, heart health, all these things that become important, not as sexy as weight loss, but are important nonetheless. Okay. Okay. So if you're still with me here, are you sure you want to do this? Because often people are wishy-washy on the fence. Oh, timing isn't right. I love that one. I just don't have the time right now. You'll never have the time, perfectly set up for doing this kind of stuff. But we do it in a way that it's delivered online, optimized for a busy life. I have clients all over LinkedIn who have busy careers, travel a lot or used to travel a lot, and they get great results, right? Because it's personalized. So you can have this excuse that by all means, live and die on that sword. But I find the longer you put this stuff off, the more it's going to cost you in time, money, and effort when you do finally decide to pull the trigger. Because most likely your weight will be up a little bit, be a little bit older. You'll have the same responsibilities and commitments, and it won't be easier the next time. Okay. So I've got a good question for you here. If this gave you the body of your dreams, what would it be worth to you? That's always the question I ask on a phone call with people who are kind of mulling it over. Because what is the cost of staying where you are? That I had to decide this with my business when I first hired a coach. If 12 months went past and I was in the exact same position, would I be happy? And the answer is no in both scenarios, and that's why I pulled the trigger. So it may not be worth it to you. You have to decide that ultimately. All right, so typical results. So this varies greatly, based on adherence, based on gender, where you're starting from, but 12, 37 pounds in 90 days. I like to think more so on that second piece, the inches lost, couple of pant sizes. We really try to make that a focus. If it's your first time in the program, you're pretty new to this stuff, you should get a quick result. got to tone up those show muscles too. This was a boating incident where my father-in-law tried to spill me on the tube this weekend and skin myself. 35. This is 35. It's the kinks last a little longer. All right. So if you still are with me, is this worth it? Worth everything, says Dave. I like it. So how it's delivered? Well, I'm always a text away through the app in your back pocket. You get a belly burn blueprint diet and training plan. So again, within the app on your phone, adjust as you hit plateaus. We send you a check-in message every Monday with a list of questions. Based on your answers, we adjust the plan so that you're not stuck in a plateau for too long as you're reaching out to me. And again, like we showed off the top, we map out a clear goal for you and put the pieces in place to get there together with public accountability built in, right? The group, we've got a weigh-in for the guys group every week. There's a lot of accountability with that. And you're just never alone is essentially what I'm trying to accomplish here. So how we do that is the profile match right off the top, making sure I know the foods you like, dislike, mapping out a custom built plan that's not, something you can pull off the internet that collects dust on your virtual desktop. Yes, eating more is often the case. Someone comes into the program, they eat too little for a stretch of 3 to 5 days, binge on weekends, and it's that whole vicious cycle. So we try to get you to eat more quality foods to lose more fat. And we don't eliminate anything. That's the important piece, I find. Okay. Getting bored yet? We're almost at the draw. So training smarter. So this kind of summarizes what I've spoken about tonight about, 30-minute strength workouts. If you're really advanced, we might push it a little longer than that. But you don't have to spend hours in the gym. You can do home workouts, in and out, move on with your day, right? Not crazy P90X workouts. And the last piece is that accountability. Most people know what to do, generally speaking, but they don't have the results to show for it. So what gives? Well, often that is that layer of support, accountability, coaching to get you out of your own way, right? We're not very good at doing this kind of stuff on our own, at least in the short term, until those habits are really ingrained and we can move forward, okay? All right, so I've entered the draw winner in here. We've got a drum roll. Who's ready for the draw of the VIP coaching package? It's the golden ticket. Are you ready? Maybe. The iPhone is ready. Yes. Yes. Olympia is ready. She's got her hands raised. This is supposed to be a GIF or a GIF. Golden ticket. It's frozen on my screen. What is going on here? Just not the same. All right. Without further ado, here we go. Oh, there it is. The golden ticket's back. All right. Let's get the chat filling up. Who's predicting themselves to be the winner here? Got a weird squiggly line. All right. The winner is Jerome. Random number 09660. I don't know. Whatever it is. Jerome. I don't know if Jerome is on, actually. But he can watch the replay, and I will reach out to him individually because I guess we have to commit to this now. He's what was picked. All right. So I do have an opportunity for the rest of you. Don't worry. Jerome won. The rest of you can book a chat with me for one of the remaining spots. And that's simply at workwithmitch.ca. And it books into my calendar. We have 4 openings plus Jerome in our summer case study. So that is where we help you lose up to 30 pounds in 90 days or less, 2 pant sizes with 30-minute workouts, flexible nutrition. Sarah just signed up yesterday, so she got one of those spots, and she's on as well. So I'm going to work on your plan there, Sarah. The Darren, Gordon clients that are already in, you guys get some fresh workouts that go with this. Of course, our group challenge. I believe my cat is trying to break into the basement here. So let me do that. We got a celebration for Jerome. So yeah, if you just type in this address, I'm going to put it into the chat box. So you can click that link. All it does is open up a calendar link. Everybody that goes through my program has to go into an application call. unless you're a previous client, just to make sure we jive, right? It's not a quantity, it's a quality type program. I just have 75 people in right now. That's about my limit. And I have an assistant coach that's coming on board to potentially take some overflow. So this will be definitely with me though, these remaining 4. Let me let my cat in. All right, so if you're one of the first 2 to enroll, there's a bonus gift card as well for my store. So sweatshirts, mugs, and it can be used as cash in other places as well. So that's incentive to get on it now. First to get that little cash bonus. And we'll go from there, okay? So if you have questions, drop them in the comments below. Yeah, Danielle, my cat is friendly, I suppose. Bit of a nuisance. But I know cats can be far worse. Say hi. Hello. That's one thing she doesn't like is being held like that. So the claws come out. All right. So I'm going to try to unscreen share. Nicole is entered right at the end, right at the punchline. You'll have to catch the replay, Nicole. But a lot of it was a refresher for current clients, but lots of good stuff in here. So again, I will throw down the replay. Amanda wants in, so hopefully you booked on that link. If you want in, and we'll chat. I know you're a previous client, but we should still have a chat. See where you're at, see where we can help you moving forward. Try to get you that bonus if you're one of the first 2. All right. Very good. Awesome, guys. This is great. I think we had like 95% stick it out to the end, which is pretty good. I had 32 participants. What are we at, 29? And I've been rambling for the last 5 minutes. So, all right. So if anyone has questions, again, we're going to leave this open for 2 more minutes. Trying to think of where we're at. Yeah, I was trying to, holy, did we go for a full hour? My bad. Nice job, guys. So that's it. Watch for the email with the replay. You've got roughly 24 hours to watch it before I lock it down for clients only. And we will see you soon. Appreciate the time. So let me know if you want in, the rest of you guys. We got awesome. Okay, have a good week, guys. We'll see you very soon. Appreciate the time.